What's this? Oh man, it's the original. I finally got some ice cream treats that I can eat and enjoy. I mean, wait, let's pause. Frozen treats in a cup. That's disgusting. What is this world coming to, babe? I think it's hilarious that I found those cups of ice cream at the store because poor dog, you know the big the South American chupacilla we have.
Yes.
Every time he rides with me and I go to like Krispy Kreme or something, they won't offer him a cup of fluffiness, but
no.
They if Bandit's with me, they go, because he's the boxmas, and everybody looks at him and they'll go, oh, look at the puppy and all this, and they go, would you like a whippet for your whippy snack or something for your whippy cup for your puppy? And I was like, my puppy doesn't whip it. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It's just funny the type of stuff the world's coming to. And that being said, we were on this. The flies are really bad. Those cows are up to no good again. They're causing flies.
Yeah, they're causing methane gas problems.
That goes back to other weird stuff in the methane gas problems. We better kill all the cows.
Get rid of them.
That flatulism, you know, it's polluting. It's causing the ozone layer. All kinds of mess.
Just give him a little beano and be alright.
So I wanted to share with folks what we were talking about today when it comes to the N95 mask, the COVID-19 coronavirus whatever mask. It doesn't matter if it's homemade mask. It doesn't matter if it's a surgical mask or an N95 mask or an N100 mask. It doesn't matter what an individual is putting on their face to go out. I was sharing with the wife, you know, she was with me one day and she had seen situations where it says mask is required to go in this place. And for me, I just do this and I flip it. I take my glasses. I had to wear my glasses for this. It's not to look cool. But I just flip it up like this and I just go like that. And everybody thinks I've got a mask on. And for her,
man.
all natural. And that's the tactical beard mask. And for you wear these junk. They're called
junk headbands.
JUNK junk bandanas. And you were showing me there was a stop we had to make and it said mask required.
Yeah, at the bank, and I walk in the first set of doors. I'm like in a little cube now, and I go to the second door, and there's this big sign that says stop.
Stop.
Wait here until an assistant assists you, or you will be mowed down by 50 cows. No, I'm just kidding. That's how I felt, though. I was like, oh, crap. And then you must wear a mask before you enter. So I was like, well.
And it's like, well, it's a good thing I had that on. And she's
well,
like,
there you
wow.
go. There's my mask.
And I was like,
awesome.
I said, man, that's something you should share with folks that get stuck in these situations is those bandanas, because you can hold your hair up and I mean,
just flip it down when you need it.
And they make like a variety. I mean, we're not promoting them or nothing, but the thing is I thought it was cool is that they make these varieties of different styles for these junk bandanas. And
well, and they're fitting. They're you know, those dumb little cheap masks I have to wear at work. They're always like falling off my face, and then I get the little CDC infectious disease interrogator lady saying, "Put your mask up." I'm like, dang woman, my mask doesn't fit. It's not my fault. I don't want CO2 poisoning. I gotta breathe, man.
That's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Was the other thing that we were talking about, the CO2, the constant intake of CO2 into the body, being that you're wearing a mask over your face. You're breathing in the fresh air, and then you blow out, and then you breathe back in. You know, when you first put one on, it's not a problem. But when you wear one for a long period of time, you're constantly breathing in CO2.
Yeah, you're probably only getting 10% oxygen.
And that's something else. That's something else, because that causes a lot of problems. I mean, me and you were even talking about how it's like Well, it was more me. I brought it to your attention. I said, doesn't that kind of affect the immune system a little bit, and kind of it causes, like, I mean, you're getting a lot of CO2. That messes with the body.
Yeah, it does.
Traumatically, it messes with the body, and some folks were even telling me, it's like, yeah, man, that can even cause organ failure and all kinds of weird stuff. And I'm like, I was like, well,
it takes years.
It take years
for that.
But that's the other part of this. Sorry about that. The wind's blowing. It's blowing everything all over the place. Woo! We're in a tornado. We're in a tornado right now. So, with that being said, you guys might remember, a few years back, those commercials that would come on, and it says, if you or a friend or family member, or if you've ever worked for someone, or you've ever did this that involved working with asbestos or hazardous materials of whatever, contact the law office of we'regonnasueyou.com, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
You would get those ads across the TV, if you think that or you even get like those letters in the mail that says, just because you were an affiliate of whatever program of whatever, now you're part of this lawsuit, and when it comes clean, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars. And we were talking about that while we're walking through the grocery store, and I got to seeing all the employees that are forced to wear masks, and I see all these employees wearing masks. I said, man, years from now, there's going to be lawsuits. There's probably going to be lawsuits because of some type of damages done to individuals. It affected their immune system, or it affected their health in some way. Okay, and you're probably going to see all kinds of crazy ads on the television. It's that if you or a friend or a loved one have ever been connected, or a pet have ever been involved with COVID-19, or your hamster, and you were forced to wear a mask due to blah 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 work conditions, you worked at asphalt repair something, asphalt whatever, man, you worked at some crazy place, right? And they call it, it's like you were the refrigerator magnet repair guy, and that's all you did. But you were in a room full of people that did refrigerator magnet repair, and you have to wear a mask the entire time. And out of that being said, you were affected, you have damages, and now you're a part of this we're going to sue your butt.com, and now, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that?
I mean, we do talk about that at work, how it's like, we're going on about 8 hours now with these masks. Anybody else feeling a little dizzy or off their feet? I am. The poor pregnant woman there too have to wear those stupid masks. And we got our little compliance checklist from infectious disease going around wearing your mask.
In places like that, I'm not going to generalize I'm not going to corner out your place, but your work environment or nothing, but the patients usually required to wear masks, or just patients just kind of
patients are required to wear masks when they're out of their room, unless they're COPDers, you can't expect somebody like that, or asthmatics.
I couldn't,
and anybody who's visiting the hospitals, visit people while you can, because who knows, they're probably going to enforce those no visitor policies soon if this second wave hits.
And
they have to wear masks.
This all came up. This all came up from the other day when I was making a video talking about. I was talking about how the kids are going to have to go back to school soon. There's going to be this color code system, and the kids are going to be separated by like sheets of glass and all kinds of stuff, so they don't cough and spit on one another. And that there's going to be fever codes. Once there's like a fever, and then it goes to like yellow, and then it goes to like blue and red and green, whatever, and then they shut the school down or whatever. And how I had said that I would give my kids the option to wear a mask, and say, hey, well, if you feel more comfortable wearing a mask. But then also that goes with that's just my take on it, and that's just my take on their time that they will be at school. But the minute they leave the school, it's got to come off. You know, it would only be to, and it goes back to what I said before. It's like the FEMA type. This fly is all over me, man. I must
You're
smell
salty.
awful. I must smell awful today.
I think it's the salt.
I think it is probably.
You're very salty,
I think it's
man.
just they just like my hat. All right. So that being said, it goes into, it's not just if I want to or that kind of thing. It's kind of conforming so you don't get tracked kind of thing. I know it sounded kind of crazy. It always comes out my mouth, but I'm that conspiracy theorist kind of guy. I'm that X-Files kind of guy that thinks that everybody's burning my evidence off to the side. But the thing is that
He knows too much.
he knows too much. You found nothing. You found absolutely nothing. What do you mean?
We burned the bodies.
They
We got rid of
bodies
the
and
evidence
everything.
and the implant devices.
Dang.
You cannot prove nothing.
Dadgummit. They all know. They all know. So, here's the thing. It's like, I know, right? It's like right there on my eyeball. So, if you've got these situations where it's kind of like you end up in a crisis situation and you have to sign up for food vouchers from like FEMA or whatever, and you're supposed to get your daily rations or whatever, those types of things where it's martial law, but in order to keep everyone away from your home, saying, why doesn't this family come and get their card or their wristband to participate in these activities? These are the individuals that are not checked in yet and showing up to these events. And the thing is with that, if you don't participate, then you could just set yourself up for a type of health and comfort check, right? A type of check that is it is involved forceful intrusion, where they automatically just show up and say, well, they're not participating in all this stuff, so we're going to forcefully intrude into their lives to get some answers as to why their kids are not participating, as to why they're not participating in types of things. And sometimes it's kind of like, if I think that if my kids don't participate in these types of functions, that's what's going to be the trickle effect from that. If I put my kids up to saying, my kids just kind of go, we're not going to take it, we're not going to take it.
No.
And then they fight the system. My kids shouldn't be put in that situation. I shouldn't put my kids, I just feel personally that I shouldn't put my kids in that situation where they're having to tell a teacher, I can't do that, or I'm not going to do it. No, I want my kids to be somewhat flexible in certain situations, and then come home and tell me all about it. And that's the kind of case for me. I'm not going to put my kids out there right off the bat and say, no, don't participate. No, I'm going to tell my kids to do what you think's right there, but then come home and tell me about it. Don't go fisticuffs when it comes to, you know what I mean, with certain things. It's just one of those things. That's why I wanted to give my kids the options.
Just
if they feel more,
choosing your battles.
Yes, exactly. Because some battles can't be won like that. You can't just. Yeah. You got to be very careful before you go walking into the line of fire, because you might get capped.
Well, that's like some of the churches that are really wanting to open up early, and then they get attacked by the government, and it makes it worse for them, and now they're under more scrutiny.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to bite your tongue, bite your bullet, and just...
And they're already starting to point the finger at the churches already for opening up and throwing masses together, and that they're causing the problem now. It's getting really weird out there.
It's not those protesters. They're fine.
It's really weird out there. Well, as far as the protesters go, it's all these types of situations. It's like
they can gather in hundreds upon hundreds. It's cool.
You would ending. What criminal doesn't want to get rid of cops? I get to thinking about criminals out there. The ones that do bad, like politicians and the ones that take the deals. I know, the ones that take the bribes on the side.
That's right.
They don't want cops, right? It's just my little joke conspiracy for you. I'm just throwing it out there.
Chicago's only had the most violent night of their lives, last week or something?
I know,
like
right?
That, during all this stuff.
It's crazy out there. Anyway, but that's all I got. You got anything?
Nah.
I just wanted to give you guys my crazy thought and her crazy thought and something we were thinking about, and we wanted to share it with you guys to see what you think of it. Anyways, but that's all I got. God bless you guys. Take care.
Stay sane.
Stay sane. Be careful.